Is it not pathetic that I give you good content, informative content, yet you haven't subscribed to my channel? That is pure evil. You're not helping me while I'm trying to help you. You don't want us to help others. So subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel, because today's episode is going to be another banger. On today's episode, we are discussing about real estate fake building materials. Let me make this thing very clear for most of you out there. I want you to understand this. Nigeria itself decides to say everything about the country, and that includes those who are committing fraud. They focus mostly on the Yahoo boys, those who are called fraudulent. You guys would have known them, fraudsters, those scam artists on internet. Nigeria has put it upon itself to expose every youth who are into fraud. But one thing that Nigeria failed to do is to also pay attention to the certain organization that commit legal fraud. And since they can easily arrest those who are committing cybercrime, being fraudsters, defrauding people, hacking people's phone and all of that, the EFCC is doing that. In fact, these days when we look at the EFCC now that are arresting the Yahoo boys, we do like this. Now, even the Yahoo boys that they were arresting, if they carry them to the prison system, it is more of an avenue, keeping them in a particular place for them to be dedicated to their craft. But it is unfortunate that Nigeria did not pay attention to the legal organizations who are committing legal crime. I've said it initially that lawyers also are licensed fraudsters in certain ways. Not all of them, but you most likely will find yourself with people like that. Coming back to Nigerian real estate organization, these individuals, I talk about them, they are entity of criminals. Emphasize not all of them. Today, I'll be debunking how Nigerian real estate organization defraud people with fake materials. You see, when a lot of us make decisions to buy property, some of us, we are hoping to see our land. So if you see your land to buy, probably you buy a completed building and they just give you something. Some of you will be happy. Why some of us might not be happy, because we were paying and we were expecting certain things. Like this particular building now, when I bought it then around 2018, I bought it for over 6 million naira. Just 6 million and then other things that were included like developmental fee, deed of assignment, and the rest of it. I've bought the house, so there's no issue on it. When I moved into the house, I began to discover that the materials they use in building the property, I had to spend almost half of the money I used in buying the house to build the property again. And when I was buying this property, I was being told that it was a completed building. If I had known initially, I would have bought carcass. They were selling carcass then for 4 million or 3.5 million. I would have bought carcass. And a lot of people in diaspora find themselves in situations that they are trying also to buy a completed building, since they know that, okay, this particular real estate who says they sell property would most likely do all their job, do their due diligence and the rest of it, and then get me a quality property. I have heard with my ears that some of you are focusing on buying property in Lekki Road. Now, when I talk to people, I am most times categorizing certain set of people. Me, I'm focusing on an average high income earner or just a middle class person. And those are the people I pay attention to, because I understand that these individuals are the ones who they are being careful with the way they spend their money. Because if a politician wastes the sum of 500 million, he knows how he's going to get another money. But for those of us who are decided, who are very careful of how we spend our money, I think it is important that we use the money wisely. But when it now comes to the aspect of us investing in Nigerian real estate, Lekki Road, I tell people that first of all, you have to go for master plan. Stop listening to the story of global CFO. It doesn't make any sense. C of O is not a document anymore. Yes, does the government issue C of O to organizations. Yes, it is just like you giving somebody CAC for business registration. That doesn't mean that the organization would not defraud you. And a lot of Nigerians already understand the penalty, the justice system, and how they can manipulate it. And that is the reason why they would collect most of all these certificates. And then they would extort you, knowing that you can't do anything about it. Besides, I have told a lot of you that the diasporas are their prey, the people they prey upon. Because if you truly focus on Nigerians and you want to help Nigerians, there are certain systems you are going to put in place. But because you understand that there are individuals who are earning dollars and euros and pounds and the rest of it, you can easily extort them and ask them to bring money. Now, there's a possibility you might see your property when you buy it. So if you are buying it in Lekki, that's good for you. I've told people I wouldn't encourage anyone to buy property in Lekki or Ekpe, except you are earning certain amount of money and you don't care losing some money. And I am saying this because if you are investing in Lekki Ekpe Road, you should be paying attention to the master plan. Because Lekki Ekpe, I want you to understand that is Lekki is still inside the name. And because Lekki is in the name, the government would be paying attention to that particular environment. And since they are going to pay attention to that environment, if you don't do your due diligence, you might build mansion, you might build whatever you want to build, and your house may get demolished, just like those houses that got demolished in Lekki, that they say their house is on Kana. And most of these individuals we are talking about, some of them would most likely have global C of O. Would you even think that paying money to have global C of O would have been the issue or the problem or challenge for those people at that time to buy it? But most times when we buy property or we are having money in life, we always think that is how life will keep going until we find ourselves that probably while we are done buying house and the rest of it, we might get broke. So you have to do your due diligence, and I tell people most times, focus on getting the master plan of the estate. Let any real estate organization show you the master plan. And then if you have the master plan, you can verify it. After verifying, then you can do what is necessary, which is take it to the government, do every other thing you need to do, and once you're sure of it, send somebody to oversee your investment for you here in Nigeria. Either you get a good lawyer or you can contact me if you want to, or if you have a reliable lawyer, that's fine. So back to what I'm talking about, fake building materials that most real estate organizations use. A lot of them does. Now, I have seen some of them who are exceptions. Like when I went to Ikoyi, I saw some real estate organizations who are building these things that are called like condo. Did they call them condo houses or condo? That they are upstairs after upstairs, upstairs after upstairs. Yes, these properties actually make sense. These properties are actually used with quality materials. And if you want to purchase any real estate in Nigeria, you have to also know that the moment after you have gotten the global C of O and you have gotten the master plan first before global C of O. If you have gotten your master plan and you realize that your land is legit, the property they are giving you is legit, and you are buying a building, focus on the material that is being used, because most of the real estate organization will be lying to you, telling you that materials are very expensive, while they are going to get you materials that are very cheap. It is not about the cheap that actually matters, because if you pay somebody and you agree that, okay, I'm going to give you 50 million for you to build a particular building for me, or 200 million and the rest of it, your expectation should be for certain type of qualities. But in Nigeria currently, we have too many industrial, these industries that build different kind of materials like ties and the rest of it. I don't want to show you my ties right now because I don't want to take my camera and move it around. But like this place, when I got it, I saw the ties and the rest of it. I was like, this thing doesn't look too quality. It's not my taste. But I was ready to, oblige and just let things be. It became so poor that when I begin to realize that the kind of material they use was very poor, and the type of workers they use in building the house or the property are very poor. Most of Nigerian house builders, most of them are not professionals. They are going to look for the cheapest labor. They are going to look for an unprofessional labor. Unlike this, just like this estate I'm talking about now. I've spoken about it that I have a challenge with I'm in court with an organization they call Arkview Investments. Currently, they are part of the people who were currently in trial at Ikoyi Federal High Court. So they charge me for accusations and blah blah blah, which I've made a lot of video and I have a lot of evidences for many things. But I wouldn't push much on it on this particular subject, but I will make it very clear that in the materials that I have in my own place here, most of these materials are bad. In fact, I can say it without a shadow of a doubt that the only quality thing that I think they did in the whole of the houses, for me, I'm not talking about anybody, but in this particular house, is the sliding window. The kitchen, F9. The toilet, the sink and all of them, F9. PVC, F9. Roofing, F9. The building itself, after C, credits, what do you call it? I don't know. But majority of the things that were used to build were totally garbage. And then it forced me to spend a lot of money. In fact, I'm not the only person in this situation. I think that if perhaps I would have the opportunity to interview, which a lot of landlords talk to me as a person, as an individual, if I interview a lot of people will tell me that, which they always tell me, that they bought just a house and then they spend exactly almost, if not more than the money they use in buying the property. So while you make a decision to buy in most of this real estate, put it at the back of your mind that if you're not sending someone to look at the quality material they use in the building and to verify that those products are also good enough, then just assume that you're going to be spending ×2 of the money. Currently in my parlor right now, when it's raining, rain falls in zinc. Why? I've told them several times, I've said, let's go. I've gone to the urban and the rest of it. I don't really want to go into deep subject because when I begin to say it, some people will say, maybe I'm talking about Arkview or maybe I'm not talking about Arkview. All I can say about Arkview is they are the one, Arkview Investment, they are the one who are charging me to court right now, and we are on trial for certain accusations that I probably will be bringing up soon about my charges, and I would explain certain things over and over again. But what I'm trying to bring out to most of us in diaspora is to be so careful about the materials they use in building your property, because if you are not careful, then that simply means if perhaps you are able to get a building and a place that the government will not destroy later in the future, because global C of O does not indicate for anything that government will not destroy your house until you have master plan, which master plan actually determines the vision of the government for your building. But when you pay attention to things like the master plan, and then you know that okay, your allocation for your property is safe, then and they are working according to the master plan, because seeing the master plan is one thing, then following up with the master plan is another thing. And then you are going to see your own building in the master plan. If your building is not there, you're not seeing the location at which your building is, I think you should terminate that contract. Or perhaps what you need to do is, if you have it already, then you need to pay attention to what are the materials they are using in building your house. And I think that most times it is important that you indicate in your contract the type of materials they will use in building your house. If you did not indicate the kind of materials they should use or the quality of materials they will be using to build your house, then they will collect a high money for you, telling you that, oh, Nigerian prices, dollar is high, Nigerian currency is low, and we want to use quality materials. And the moment you pay it, they go look for the cheapest material. And to see fake in Nigeria, to buy fake materials, it will take you time to be able to differentiate between fake materials and original materials. So as an individual who are in diaspora, or if you are in Nigeria and you are buying property, and I've told people over and over that I do not support anyone buying property for instrumental. Now, if you want to do it, that is at your own discretion. Would you shout? I don't know. Depends on the people you're working with, but most likely everything they will write in the contract is to help them, not you. And I always tell people, be patient in the way you want to. If you think you want to get property, you need to be patient. You need to save your money to a certain degree. Better still, if it's possible, to go through mortgage for them to do the payment for you. But before they take those steps, you make sure that you verify everything about the property. If they show you one property, let that contract indicate that this particular property they are giving it to you. Take your own engineer You can pay somebody to help you verify all the materials they are using to build the house. You can go with the individual. If you can't go with the individual, you think you need my own assistance. My number is on my page right here on YouTube. You can go there and you can chat me up. If you think you need a legal practitioner to help you go through your contract and to write the contract that it also supports and protects you enough, you can always let me know. But what I'm saying today is that most materials used in real estate, most of the interior they use are always fake. Apart from maybe some of them would have conscience to use good blocks to build the house and have good foundation. But majority of the time, F9 in Bubu. So be safe in your investments. That's what I have for you today, Monday. Have a blessed day. See you in my next video. Adios. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel. Adios, amigos.
When you are revolutionary and you talk the truth, people will come and slap you down. Then you talk the truth again, they lock you in jail. Them never hear anything at all. Then go hear pansa pansa. When you are revolutionary and you talk the truth, people will come and slap you down. Then you talk the truth again, they lock you in jail. Them never hear anything at all. Then go hear pansa pansa.